Let this sink in for a moment. The lack of financial education cost Americans $450 billion in 2021. 78% of American homeowners are living paycheck to paycheck. And right now, most American homeowners are equity rich and cash poor. That's another word for broke. The media isn't helping you, schools aren't helping you, and the government for sure isn't going to save you. As a top 1% mortgage professional and seasoned investor, I cannot sit around and watch these life-changing skills that I've learned outside of traditional schooling be unused, untaught, and thrown in the trash can. So until these statistics change, I'll be here every single week, preaching and teaching personal and professional finance, information that you can use in your life, however that looks, whether you are 16 or 60. Hey friends, welcome back to another Happy Homeowner podcast. I created this podcast a few years ago for clients that I've helped over the last 18 years in mortgage finance and real estate, along with new clients that are relocating to beautiful Everett or Snohomish County, from out of state and even out of the country. And so today I have a very special guest. This is part 2 of our 3-part series on Everett. So a week ago, you can go back and watch this. We had Wendy Pushbag, and she is the head of the Everett Chamber of Commerce. And that was an incredible episode. She talked about the 5 major misconceptions about Everett. You're laughing, you're smiling at me because you probably understand that. And then today we've got the mayor. We have got Mayor Cassie Franklin. So welcome to the Happy Homeowner podcast.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
It's always an honor to get to talk with leadership because I know this about leaders. They have big visions and they're action takers. And so I'd love to talk about what you've accomplished, what you're accomplishing, and then your bigger vision for Everett. And then I specifically have 2 things. I know that because I'm involved in this, I'm building 3 DADU projects right now that wouldn't have happened had the zoning not changed. So
that's right.
I know you played a role in that. We're going to talk about that. And there's some really exciting, I had an opportunity to coach and play some semi-professional baseball, play at the stadium down here. And I know there's some plans, no guarantees, but some plans about potentially a new stadium coming to town. So before we get into that, let's talk about your vision. Let's talk about some of the exciting things that you're working on right now.
Sure. Well, I am very happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And I've been honored to serve as Everett's mayor for almost the last 8 years. I'm the first woman ever to be elected mayor in the city of Everett. And I kind of came here on an untraditional path. I used to run nonprofits helping homeless kids and their families, and then decided maybe if I'm mayor, I could do more good for the community. And so my vision has always been, what can we do to make the best city for the residents and people that come here? You know, how can we be the best city in the Pacific Northwest to raise a family, start a business, pursue an education, whatever it is that you want to do, we want that to happen here in Everett.
Yeah.
And so that is what we've been working towards the last 7.5 years, and I'm excited to continue.
Well, I was telling Wendy on our previous episode that I'm going to age myself. I'm 49 years old. I've lived here all my life.
Not old.
Okay. Well, but I have seen, and that's why we titled the last podcast, The 5 Misconceptions About Everett, because I've seen and lived through all of those misconceptions from when I was younger, Everett just being a Boeing town, right? To now we've got beautiful Everett Community College that I got to teach and coach at before it expanded into their new campus. But hospitals, Everett, Washington State University. I have been afraid of Colby Avenue, and now we relocated our business onto Colby Avenue because of all the amazing changes, which that's how I met you at our ribbon cutting ceremony. And so I know all of this, a lot of this has happened under your tenure, on your watch. And so one, I'm super grateful, thankful for people like you that have visions for better, have visions for things that are kind of greater than just, you know, having a city that has businesses and stores. So absolutely unbelievable. So if you're not familiar with Everett, a lot of the times your impression of Everett is what you see from Interstate 5, right?
Yeah, and that is absolutely not Everett. Everett is one of the most beautiful, vibrant cities in Washington State, if not in the country. And I'm always amazed when people say, oh yeah, I've been to Everett. I drove by there the other day. It's like, if you haven't been into Everett, if you haven't been downtown, if you haven't seen our waterfront, if you haven't been to some of the rich cultural amenities in South Everett, you have not seen Everett. Everett is gorgeous. And, you know, in the last few years, we really focused on revitalization of our downtown. You know, in the pandemic, a lot of downtowns really suffered, and we put a lot of energy into supporting our small businesses, addressing criminal activity. Crime is down citywide, and that is through intensive care and attention through both our police department, alternatives response teams, and that is the heart of our city. And what you'll see is very few vacant storefronts and an array of fantastic restaurants, stores, shops, great cultural art activities, art studios, children's museum. It's amazing.
The food scene has 180 degrees changed, right, in the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Favorite restaurant?
Right now, okay, so favorite right now, Fisherman Jack's. I'm sorry.
It's so good.
It's okay, is the food like next level? Yeah, it's good. The ambiance, the environment, to sit on a pier and have really great, I believe it's like Japanese fusion, right?
I think so.
I
Asian
love
fusion.
Asian fusion. Yeah, I love it. I love the bar. I love the food. It's when I meet a new client, it's kind of my go-to. That and South Fork. I love South Fork Baking down there.
And the Muse. I don't know if you've been to the Muse. 1611 is another gem that, you know, that it was a kind of a vacant historic property that has been in Everett for I don't know how many years, and it stood there empty for a long time. And an investor came back and said, you know what? I'm going to do something magical here. We have the largest graffiti art collection in the world there. An amazing kind of speakeasy style restaurant and new venues upstairs as well. It's outstanding. And
there's much more to come down in the marina. It's right now we're August of 2025. The environment down in the marina during the summer is really, really special, especially on the weekends. And then we're not going to spend a ton of time talking about this, but what you guys have done with the farmers market and Cruz and Colby and all of the 3-on-3 basketball tournaments and just bringing these things to downtown Everett is absolutely incredible for the businesses there, but just for the city as well. So
introducing people to this amazing city. Right?
It's great. So more to come down in the marina. I know they're doing a lot of constructions down there right now. I know there's a couple more food venues going in down there, and even upgrading the actual marina. I own a boathouse down there, and so I'm in and out of there a lot. And so big upgrades. So I want to specifically talk about a couple things that are relevant to a lot of my clients listening to this and that may want to move to Everett. Zoning. So affordable housing is a huge crisis that we have seen all throughout Washington State. You know, prices keep going up. Interest rates over the last few years haven't helped because they've gone up. And so the idea around these DADU laws, where you can build an approximate 1,000 to 1,100 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath type home on the same lot as an existing home and then condominiumize it. Unbelievable. So I have 3 of those projects going right now. You guys have streamlined that process so easy compared to building and developing, right? So let's talk about that real quick, what that means to Everett, maybe some things that I kind of know surface level, but let's talk about the zoning changes for someone that's not aware of that right now.
Sure. Well, we are fiercely pro-housing in Everett. You know, the best way to get through the housing crisis is to build more housing. And we also wanted to do it in a way that protect the culture and character and the unique coolness of everything that is Everett. And so these ADUs that you're talking about, these accessory dwelling units, you know, you can put them on a property in Everett and then sell it and condominiumize it as you were sharing. And we worked on that to ensure that we could get ahead of the curve. And the state has also passed some policies, and we've done an impressive comprehensive plan to aggressively upzone. We're trying to add 65,000 units of housing. And so we did a lot of work there. We also added a ton of resources to our permitting team. We put permitting online. We have concierge service. So if you're looking to build in Everett, we are here to help because we want to ensure that you have all the resources necessary to build that.
So this is not just a mayor who's very proud of her city and the processes.
Well, it might be fair.
I'm telling you that I have flipped homes and built homes in other cities and other counties. Unreal. unbelievable. Just
I'm glad to
go
hear
try
that.
it elsewhere. Okay. So the thing I love about this too, like you said, affordable housing, Everett is unique because there's a lot of neighborhoods where they were built back in a time period where there were alleyways.
That's right.
And so because of these alleys, you actually get to access this new ADU from the alley, which gives you your own private entrance to these. And these are 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses. They look like houses. They're just a little bit smaller and condensed. And then there's a backyard and a fence. So some people are thinking like, oh, is this just a little mini cottage or a tiny home? No, these are full-on houses. So
different than a mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And it has that privacy, that separation. So through those alleys and the different unique neighborhoods in Everett, you could have one of these on your property, build a little, garden fence around it. And it feels that like it's a totally separate dwelling. It's fantastic and very different than a mother-in-law.
Yeah, and the pricing on these, for example, is we're finding them right now in the low to mid 5s, maybe low 6s. And so from an affordable housing, otherwise that would be a $700,000 or $800,000 purchase.
That's right.
Yeah, and you can get into them in Everett for very low down.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to affordability, we know that there's a housing crisis all across the country, all across the state of Washington for sure. But we pride ourselves on working to retain and maintain some affordability through these types of projects and more. So
I love it. I love that. Killer job. Keep it up.
Thank you.
All right. So the final thing that I have, and then we're going to kind of get into a couple of things that you're really excited about. The stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, is this kind of like just talks, or talk to us about the potential new stadium and where that might be?
I am super excited about this project. Now, you don't have to be a baseball fan to be excited about this project. Major League changed the rules. They want, kind of bigger, better stadiums for their minor league teams. And so we have to adapt to meet that need. We looked at different areas throughout the city and we found the ideal location for the new stadium, which is between our historic downtown, across the street from our current indoor event center, for our new outdoor event center. And it's between that and our transit center. So this is going to just transform that part of our community and be a new anchor to downtown, and draw all kinds of folks. And it's not just for baseball. In fact, as soon as we started talking about this new project, USL Soccer came on board, and they are so excited. They're going to have men and women's soccer. So I'm super excited about the women's soccer because we are a sport town. We have hockey, indoor arena football, baseball, and now we'll have men and women's soccer as well. So very, very excited.
Yeah, the event center is out.
Yeah, outdoor event center.
The outdoor event center, and then across the street, the existing event center. There's concerts there. It's just incredible. The Silvertips vibe is unreal.
It's
we
so
are
fun.
a hockey town.
Well, and the cool thing with baseball and soccer, they have different schedules than the Silvertips and indoor arena football. So we'll have kind of things to do every night of the week. And we have a great venue for indoor concerts, but this creates an outdoor concert venue. So awesome.
That is so cool. Okay. So if someone's listening and they're excited about these changes, are there resources with the city to stay in touch with like the progression with the stadium, or with zoning, learn more about zoning?
Oh my gosh, of course. Our city website, everettwa.gov, we try to make everything available online. Also, I encourage folks to sign up for our newsletters or follow us on social media. I'm very active on my mayor Facebook page, trying to post information, but the city has different departments that post information as well. So really encourage you to go to our website, sign up to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and get all the updates that you can.
I highly encourage, and I've been saying this for my entire career in the mortgage finance industries, as I bring people to this area, get involved, like follow the chamber, follow the city, and just
join
stay
our
in
boards
touch.
and commissions, volunteer. That is a great way to engage
Yeah.
with your community.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get to stay in the know, and you get to connect with great people like you and your team. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, so that was my agenda. I'm sure there's a million things. We could stay here for hours and hours and hours, but we won't, because we got to respect your time too. Did I miss something? Like, what's something that's kind of got you excited right now that you guys are working on, or maybe the public needs to know about relative to developments and things happening in the city of Everett?
I will share that one of the things we didn't talk about is our redevelopment of South Everett. South Everett is such an important part of our city. It's one of our most diverse, culturally rich parts of our neighborhoods, and Everett Mall has kind of been not a kind of dying mall for some time, and it's going through a wonderful redevelopment transformation. They moved the Trader Joe's there. They're doing a complete redevelopment, creating a promenade down the middle and stores that you can access from the outside. And we're getting a Top Golf right there in South Everett, which is going to be extraordinary for placemaking in that part of our community, and a new amenity for everybody to enjoy.
That is absolutely incredible. Yeah, I have to agree with you about the Everett Mall. It's just like, come on, baby, keep going.
But now they're doing that. Now they're doing the transformation that we've wanted to see for many years.
Unbelievable. So that was one of the misconceptions about Everett, was South Everett, and so my college job in the summer, I was the greenskeeper at Walter Hall. I got to drive through South Everett and work through there, and to see those changes and the evolution of South Everett. I think North Everett, downtown, the marina, heck of a job. So to hear that South Everett is next, I mean, when that's done, your work is done, right?
I know, our city is outstanding. Riverfront too, right? That's going through its major transformation as well.
I want to thank you for coming in today. This was awesome.
Oh, thank you. I so enjoyed talking with you and love this podcast, and can't wait to see your next one.
Thank you. All right. So the resources are there. If you have any questions about today's podcast, I want you to reach out to me or Cassie and her team. And other than that, we'll see you next time on the Happy Homeowner Podcast. Bye for now.
Bye.